organization focused on promoting business growth, building community, and advocating for the sustainable economic success of the greater Clinton region. Grow Clinton This Morning, a program in partnership with KROS.
Well, real pleasure to have Ashley in studio with us. It's been a while, and a good reason. She was traveling.
I was traveling. I was in Europe for 2 weeks, which we were just talking. It also worked out that my week would have been Memorial Day, which obviously our office was closed for the holiday. But that's also why I was in Europe, to kind of buddy up with a day we already have off. So
you've been to Europe 3 times, you were telling me?
That was my 3rd time, yes.
Okay. And I was telling you the only time I get to Europe is when I watch Rick Steves on TV.
Yep.
You say you live by Rick Steves.
We do, yes. Every time not every time, because the first time I was over there I was 15, so that was before I knew about Rick, or maybe Rick was even doing what he's doing. Yeah. But when I was there in 2017, we did Germany, Paris, and parts of Austria. And so, we had the books with us, and, he just bakes in, just little bits of information that, maybe you wouldn't know for sure by going, but like little tricks to even avoid, lines at some of the tourist sites. So, and of course, this past time we had Rick Steves along with us, and I had the book for England, and then for Ireland we had it on our phone, so we were flipping through the pages when we were out and about. But
that is amazing.
Yeah.
So you were in London?
Yep, we were in London. We were in Bath. Then we flew over to Ireland for a couple days.
You flew to Ireland? Couldn't you drive?
No, there's water in between.
There is water between?
Yeah.
I thought, okay.
Yep.
What am I? I'm
Those
thinking
a quick,
of Wales.
hour flight over there. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, I haven't been out of the United States, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
So there's no big bridge or anything?
Nope, there's no big bridge. So we took a very quick flight out of London Heathrow into Dublin. We had a car rental in Ireland, and so we started in Dublin, which is, I'm going to use my hands even though people can't see me, right?
Oh yeah, they can.
Yeah. I forget it's on YouTube. So, Dublin, and then we had a car, so we kind of drove around to southern Ireland. And then we ended up in this very remote peninsula called Dingle, which was probably my favorite part of Ireland that we were in. Just very remote, cliffs. I mean, just iconic Ireland when you think of Ireland and the beauty of it and the landscape. And right on the ocean. I think we were on the westernmost point of Ireland on the Atlantic. So
I have to ask, how was the weather?
We lucked out in a big way. Normally Ireland sees a lot of rain, and don't get me wrong, we had rain, but it was very intermittent, and it seemed like when we did have rain, most of the time it was when we were in the car traveling from point A to point B. But, we packed for it. They say over there's no such thing as bad weather, just bad clothing. So as long as you're prepared for it and have your rain jackets and your waterproof shoes, it's really no big deal.
Well, that's great. I'm glad you had a fantastic time.
Yeah.
But it's been a couple months since we visited with you.
It's been, I think, 2 months then, because, I go every 4 weeks, and so we missed out on Memorial Day, and here I am, and it's good to be back. It's good to be gone on those vacations, but it is just such a busy day after day. You're just on the go. So
is it much catching up to what you do? I mean, when you get back, do you find a long list of things you need to do?
Yeah. I'd say it took me a good week to get caught back up, just because we've got some big things coming up, right. And so I had just several deadlines that I had prepped for as much as I could before I left, but then when I got back, those deadlines were approaching, and so then it was, time to do like the next step in those things. And when I say that, I mean like our annual awards. This is a good segue into the work things. So we had our award nominations open before I left, and then after I got back, a couple days was the deadline. So then it was time to do all those new things and gather all the submissions we got. And kind of sort through those, and then we had our committee met. We formed a small committee this year to go over those nominations and make selections for our 5 award categories for our annual meeting that is coming up this Wednesday at the Wild Rose Casino.
So, and a good thing you're not going to be outdoors like you have been the last
Correct.
few years.
Yes, especially after the heat this weekend. And doesn't look to be letting up any.
Now, can people still attend?
So registration actually we did have to close it.
Okay.
So this is why, we repeat it over and over again, get those registrations in. If you want to call, if you're still interested in coming and you just missed the deadline that was last Wednesday, call our office. We are, trying to work with people and make sure we can get enough food then from the caterer to accommodate any last minute people that want to come.
So you get that out of the way, and then what's up next for you, Ashley?
Golf. So they're exactly 1 month apart, I guess. So
Pretty close.
June 25th is the annual meeting, and then our annual golf outing is July 25th, which is a Friday. So been kind of working on these events some days simultaneously. I'll just those are my days.
Sponsors and things like that.
Yep. So sponsorships have kind of I've gotten what I got. So I do the sponsorships first, and then registration opens. So registration opened for golf on Thursday, and we are already almost at capacity. And I am not lying when I say that. So it was over half sold out the day we opened it. So
people love that golf day.
Love it. Yes, they love it.
They got foursomes that they've put together for years, I would imagine.
Yeah, and a lot of repeat people. And we have other sponsors that they don't get golfers included, but they always make sure to get a team in too. And so we love to have, all different people from all different companies attend.
So Friday, July 25th, of course, going to be out at Valley Oaks.
Yep, Valley Oaks.
Everything starts?
The tournament starts at 11:30. Registration will open up at 10. So we do encourage you to come out early and get checked in. Find your golf carts. We also will have some different hole games that people can play. So you'll get a card for that, and it's always a fun day.
Yeah.
It's always a fun day.
So what else is after the golf then?
So then I shouldn't say I get a break. I don't get a break because I am planning a new event for this year called the Hanger Huddle, which will be coming up in October. And it's a day when Iowa plays at Wisconsin for college football. So this is a new event. So I think once golf is over, then I've really got to start figuring out all the things for that event, for the simple fact that I haven't done it yet. And really it's only 3 months away, or not even 3 months away.
And I would imagine it's going to be out at the airport?
Be out at the
airport.
airport.
Based on the name of it?
Yes, sir. Yep.
I didn't think it was a dry cleaner.
Yeah, so we're doing, a different kind of venue too, which is going to be really cool to have an event out there, I think. And it's just a cool space, and it's huge. Obviously, it's a hangar. It's got to hold an airplane. So we'll have big screens up displaying the game, a grill out, and yard games too. So
that'd be great.
Yeah.
And of course, it's going to be right across from Atlas.
Yes.
People can see all the all the progress
absolutely,
they've been making.
Yes. Every time I drive out that way, it's different. So yes, we are very pleased with the progress with that project, and we look forward to Atlas opening soon.
So just before you leave, the annual meeting on Wednesday,
Yep.
5 awards.
Yep.
Make sure you get us the press release, because we can't release it until after.
That's right.
Because it is a surprise to those who are
Yep.
receiving the honors.
Yep.
So yeah, if you could get us a press release so we could have that for the news on Thursday morning.
Sure thing.
I'd appreciate that.
Yep.
So if people want to find out more about what you're all up to and what's going on at Grow Clinton, how can they best do that, Ashley?
So growclinton.com, that's our webpage. We've got a member calendar where you can see our events as well as member events. But then I always say follow our Facebook page. I make a point, be very diligent to post things there, as well as the other staff do as well too. So those are the best 2 spots, or you can always call 242-5702.
Great to see you. Thanks so much.
You too. Thanks, Gary.